are self-isolating because they came into contact with those students, but the school says the plan is to reopen October 5th. Virtual learning students are not impacted by this closure.
And it's not the only Richmond County school seeing COVID closures today. We're also learning today an entire class at another school will be out of class for 2 weeks.
Montesano Elementary in Augusta hit by coronavirus concerns. Since September 8th, Richmond County as a whole has seen 48 positive cases in students, and about 650 students have been put into self-quarantine or self-isolation. But a lot of parents have been reaching out to us, asking questions about this whole process that Richmond County follows to make these types of decisions.
And Sydney Heiberger is on your side now with some answers.
When it comes to positive cases in Richmond County schools, the district says they work under the guidance of the Georgia Department of Public Health. It's that guidance that helps the district decide whether to close down a school like they had to do here at Garrett Elementary. The district says each positive case gets reported to Georgia DPH. DPH then helps the district find out who that student came in close contact with. Close contact students are notified and asked to quarantine themselves for 14 days. It's those student and teacher absences that guide the district whether they should close a school. But they say each school and each case is different and are looked at on an individual basis. Students who were not in direct contact with a positive case are not notified. Lynthia Ross with the school district says that's because DPH does not recommend mass notification.
Entire schools won't be notified if there's a case in the school, but that's also why we're providing the data for parents and families in the community weekly so that they can continue to follow what's happening in their school.
Now, DPH defines close contact as being within 6 feet of a positive person for 15 minutes or more. Richmond County says that's why they decided to close down an entire classroom in Montesano Elementary, but not the entire school. Reporting in Augusta, Sydney Heiberger on your side.
Thanks for getting those answers, Sydney. Not necessarily a ton of cases, but exposure is the reason here. And another reason Richmond County schools are having to close, a lack of substitute teachers. We're going to tell you how they're tackling that problem ahead on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
And it's not just the classroom. Another football game in our area postponed because of COVID concerns. The Aiken County School District rescheduling the game between Aiken High School and South Aiken that was set for tomorrow.
That game will now happen October 30th, so right before Halloween. If you have tickets, they will still be good then. Aiken High's principal saying in a statement today, the health and safety of all student athletes, families, staff, and fans is our top priority. We appreciate your patience and understanding as we endeavor to ensure this annual event continues.
Let's head outside for a live look as we check in with Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, not a bad afternoon in the Augusta metro area, but you say it's been scattered showers, right?
For the most part, we've had a few thunderstorms out there, but not too much in the way of hazardous weather for the most part. That hazardous weather has stayed a little bit to our north and to our east. Near Florence, South Carolina, they're dealing with some flood advisories and even a few tornado warnings for Kershaw County. Now, for us, most of the rain is currently south of I-20, and the threat for maybe a stronger severe thunderstorm is going to be for our eastern counties. So places like Barnwell, Bamberg, Allendale, Screven, that would be where the threat is highest over the next several hours. For us here around the metro, we've kind of already dealt with the majority of our rainfall for today, but just can't rule out maybe a stray shower the next hour or two. But most of the rain should stay south of it and east of Augusta the rest of this evening. This one's about to cross over the river into portions of Aiken and Barnwell County, then just south of Sylvania, some more activity there. But for areas up towards the lake, they're just battling kind of these nuisance little pesky showers. Looks to be kind of your Holiday Park there in southern Lincoln County into Wilkes County. But for the most part, if you're heading out to those football games, I would just bring a towel so you can wipe off the bleachers. They're likely going to be wet when you arrive, but overall, most of the games look okay through this evening. More on your weekend forecast in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Riley. A U.S. Senate candidate in our area today, Reverend Raphael Warnock, was... We now have the mugshot of the school employee charged with sexual battery involving a student. Frank Wilson is out of jail on bond. The McCormick County Sheriff's Office says he's a residential advisor at the John De La Howe School up in McCormick County. The school says after an investigation, he has been separated from the school.
A double murder suspect in Richmond County waiving extradition to South Carolina today. Pete Finch appeared in a Richmond County courtroom this morning in a wheelchair. Finch could be transferred to the Aiken County Jail as early as today. By waiving extradition, he agreed to go willingly to South Carolina. Finch is accused of killing his brother and his brother's girlfriend. That happened in Graniteville on September 12th. Shortly after, Finch was involved in a shootout with deputies and treated in an Augusta hospital. He was arrested by Richmond County deputies when he was released.
Looking at COVID cases across the two states, today there are 647 new cases in South Carolina. The state's total cases now topping 140,000 and 20 more people have died. In Georgia, over 1,500 new cases today. They also reported 33 more deaths.
Home prices are breaking records despite the recession caused by the coronavirus. The National Association of Realtors says the median price of a townhouse, a home, or a condo soared above $300,000 for the first time over the summer. The average property selling in just 22 days, and that is the fastest time on record.
We are keeping an eye on some storms. This one's actually leaving Plant Vogel and heading towards the Savannah Riverside. We'll take a look at some other storms we're tracking in your weekend forecast coming up.
And also had a 9-year-old suspended for having a weapon on school property. Only problem is the boy was learning from home. The weapon was in his own bedroom. Now his family is challenging that.
Stanton Optical is all out.
A fourth-grade student in New Orleans was suspended from school earlier this month for breaking a school policy on having a weapon on school property.
But that student was working from home, and the BB gun he was suspended over was in his own bedroom. As Natasha Robinson reports, the family is fighting that suspension.
9-year-old Kamari Harrison is a fourth grader at Woodmere Elementary, and this year Kamari's a virtual learner, so his classroom is also his bedroom. The school suspended Kamari for violating a federal weapons law.
I felt like, like they were nitpicking and just totally just invading privacy, just period.
September 11th, Kamari was taking a test on the computer when his dad says Kamari's brother walked into the room and tripped over Kamari's BB gun.
Kamari moved it, picked it up, and moved it out the way, out the walking pad and whatnot, When he moved it, his emotion, he picked it up, got up, picked it up briefly, set it on the other side of him.
According to the paperwork from his expulsion hearing, the teacher's account of what happened matches Kamari's. She stated he placed it on the side of his chair so that we could only see the barrel. Harrison's attorney, Chelsea Cusimano, attended Kamari's hearing.
The policies in place are so robotic in nature to apply to guns on campus that they went into this school year without any policy or procedure to handle how to handle the privacy of someone's own home.
The Jefferson Parish school system told us they don't comment on individual student records, but pointed to its online policies, stating in part, illegal carrying, possession, or use of a firearm or dangerous weapon within the boundaries of school property or on a school bus is a crime. Nyron Harrison doesn't believe his home should be considered an extension of school property and says his son became humiliated when the school asked his classmates to write letters about the incident.
Embarrassed, and
Felt like he did something wrong.
felt like he did something wrong.
Ooh, a lot to unpack there. Kamari was suspended from school for 6 days. His father says that violation is now on his son's permanent public school record.
He also has a car in the driveway, and I'll bet he doesn't even have a license for it. All right, let's have a look outside in Aiken. Nice looking afternoon there, Riley, as we head into a weekend.
Not looking too bad. It looks like for us here in Augusta and Aiken, the worst of the severe weather the rest of this afternoon and evening will be east of us. So that's where there is still this low-end threat for maybe a strong thunderstorm or two. For that threat of maybe some strong wind gusts, maybe even some downpours that produce some isolated flooding. But overall, it looks like most of those heavy impacts staying east of the metro. But all this is thanks to the system, the remnants of beta. We're starting to see the cold front side of the system now bringing us some thunderstorms. Most of these storms are staying south of town, but good little downpour and storm activity now crossing from Plant Vogel across the Savannah River towards the Savannah Riverside. Another tiny little storm here heading towards Sylvania in central Screven County. But as we head later into this evening, these are going to continue off towards the east. So these showers and storms we're tracking currently are going to continue to stay east end of Augusta and Aiken. As we head later into this evening, that threat once again just moving out of our area. So by the time we get to around sunset, hour after that or so, most of the area is looking fairly dry. As we head into Saturday morning, we're expecting to keep the good bit of cloud cover out there, may see a few peaks of sun, but cloudy with temps in the mid to upper 60s, and then seeing those clouds clear out later into the afternoon should be a great day on Saturday. Expecting mostly sunny skies, for the afternoon hours, and those high temperatures fairly average for this time of year into the mid-80s. Sunday morning, expected to be a little bit on the muggy side, mid to upper 60s again. But later in the Sunday afternoon, some models are hinting at the potential for some rain. This one particular model showing dry conditions through around 2:30 Sunday. But later into the afternoon, past that time frame, there could be a few hit-and-miss showers and storms. So we did bump up the rain chances a tad for your Sunday. That's not really necessarily enough to cancel all your outdoor plans Sunday, but just watch out for maybe a hit-and-miss shower. Better chance for rain, though, Monday into Tuesday. This is actually going to be thanks to a strong cold front heading our way, bringing us another cool down for most of next week. Now, any plans up at the lake this weekend? It's going to be a little bit warmer than last weekend, seeing highs in the mid-80s. Saturday looks okay, but Sunday, especially in the afternoon and evening, there could be a few stray showers and storms. But current look here across the Grovetown, from our Grovetown Live Eye, good bit of cloud cover. We had more blue skies than clouds earlier, just about an hour ago, so seeing those skies thicken up again, so just can't rule out maybe a stray shower for us here around the metro. Heading in past the weekend, next week, remember, high rain chances Monday, Tuesday, but late into next week, we're expecting another cool-off. Highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s.
All right, thanks, Riley. This year certainly has not been easy for mental health, but an Augusta man found his own inner peace out on the fairways.
Melanie was responsible for the content of this advertising.
Quarantine and self-isolation are pretty common during this pandemic, but shutting yourself in during trying times can really be hard on your mental health.
News 12's Wrdw shows us how one man found his peace on the golf course.
Andre Lacey wears many hats. He's a father, a teacher, and a professional golfer.
Golf allowed me to refocus.
He was only 5 years old when he learned how to swing his first club. And after being diagnosed with a mental illness, he uses it as a weapon against anxiety and depression.
It takes those thoughts about depression or if you're not good enough or why you're not succeeding in life at the time. It allowed me to refocus and just focus on what I need to do at that moment. You're learning to crawl before you walk. And usually if somebody's depressed, they're learning to walk again.
He says when life throws a curveball, try again. After refocusing his life and getting back on his feet, he encourages others to look at life beyond what it is.
Put your attention elsewhere.
He says it's not only a game of golf, but a form of peace.
So not only are you focusing on what you're doing, hit the ball, to manage the golf course, it's also the elements. So you're out here, you got trees to look at, flowers, birds, different animals.
He says it's important to stay mentally healthy. He has 2 children at home who are depending on him every day.
You never know who's watching you.
Wrdw, on your side.
I'm glad he finds peace on the golf course. Some of us find it frustrating.
That's what I was about to say, yeah. Some of us who aren't quite as good as Lacey find it a touch stressful, but no. But he is offering classes to anyone interested in spending some time out on the golf course. Some of those classes are free. There is financial assistance available. So we've got info if you're interested on our website, wrdw.com.
But a bad day at the golf course is still a pretty good day.
That's true.
Right? Riley?
Definitely is, for sure. And it's looking better for golfing tomorrow. Unfortunately, if you have tee time today, you may have seen some wet weather. Give you an update on radar and our weekend forecast coming up.
You never know.
About most are safe.
Here's a look at your community calendar. Tomorrow is International Observe the Moon Night, and there's a way you can take part right here in the area. USC Aiken is holding a free event where you can look through their own telescope, and it is huge. It's from 7:30 to 10 p.m., and we're keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully the clouds will clear out by tomorrow for that event. Should be great out there. We do have a few showers and storms we're tracking on radar this afternoon. Most of the showers and storms are staying east of Augusta, so mainly for the eastern CSRA. For the rest of today is where we're tracking that chance for rain. But yes, your community calendar, observe the moon tomorrow night, USC Aiken Planetarium. Free look through the telescope, 7:30 to 10 p.m. We're tracking a few showers and storms out there, still on Doppler Max radar. Most of that threat is now moving east of Augusta. So if you live here across Augusta, Columbia County, Aiken County, Looks like most of that rain is going to be moving east of us for the start of our football games later tonight. Now, there are some tiny little pesky showers trying to form right along that cold front, but not really holding together all that well. But stronger storms the further east you go.
All right, coming up at 5. Speaking for the first time since the grand jury decision. That's